Welcome back to the Daily Dose, and what a day it is, folks. BYU officially in the Big 12 as of right now. Thank you for tuning into the show. I am your host, Jeff Hansen. The show's always brought to you by Give'emHellBrigham.com and by CougarSportsInsider.com. Today is Big 12 Day. This is a day the BYU fans have waited for forever, for their entire existence, and it's finally here. BYU got the party started last night. They had a midnight countdown, a big party down in Provo, down near the athletic facilities, and it was awesome. All day long today, it's Big 12 mania throughout all of Provo. What a day. Enjoy it, BYU fans, because after today, you're just a member of the conference and you got to work towards winning that conference. But today, we enjoy the moment. This is fun. This is a very, very big deal for BYU. Think about how long BYU has had to wait for this opportunity. In 1984, BYU wins the national championship. It's still disputed today of like, wow, was BYU worthy of a national champion? Doesn't matter. The trophy's in Provo. After that, the Blue Bloods, the traditional powers, they didn't like that. They didn't like that the trophy was in Provo. So lo and behold, the system changed just a few years later, and BYU was on the outside looking in. It was the Bowl Coalition, and then it turned into the Bowl Alliance. And when BYU was 14-1 in 1996, they didn't get a chance. They were told there's no chance that you're going to be a national champion again. And then in 2001, BYU is sitting at 12-0 record, and the game changed again. The BCS is here now, and the BCS says, no way, BYU. Our metrics are never going to allow you to play in the national championship. Luke Staley gets hurt. BYU doesn't finish with an undefeated record. They didn't deserve to play in the national championship in 2001. But before those losses, BYU was told there was no chance. Throughout BYU's entire history, the whole world of college football has worked to keep schools like BYU out of the conversation. BYU snuck through in 1984, and nobody has snuck through since. Since then, everybody else has been a member of the big boys that has taken home the trophy at the end of the year. And for years, for decades, for nearly 40 years, BYU has tried to prove that they belong. And as of today, they belong. What a momentous day. What a big day. I'm headed down to Provo to celebrate. This is an exciting, exciting time. Now, tomorrow, the real work begins. BYU has to focus on what they need to do to compete in the Big 12. From a football standpoint, we've talked about it a bunch, and we'll continue to talk about it a bunch. From a basketball standpoint, Cougars have a lot of work to do in order to start competing for conference championships with the likes of Kansas and Baylor and Texas Tech and some of the best teams, Houston, that college basketball has to offer. Olympic sports, BYU's not so bad there, especially women's soccer, softball. They're not Oklahoma, but they've got pretty good programs there. Track and field, volleyball, all these other sports. BYU's ready to compete on day one, and they're going to surprise some people in the Big 12. Women's basketball. I love what Coach Whiting's doing with women's basketball over there. I think that they are going to surprise people in the Big 12 conference. So really it comes down to the two biggest sports. How does football and how does basketball adjust what they're doing so that they cannot compete in the Big 12 conference, but compete to win the Big 12 conference? That's the next goal, but that's tomorrow's goal. Today's goal is to enjoy it, to have fun, to reflect back on 40 years, and really 150 years, but 40 years of BYU being told, we will never let you in again, all leading up to today, where BYU is in again. What an awesome day. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. If you have not yet done so, please do so. We've got more in-depth content coming in the future, especially as we gear up for the season. Today's a big checkpoint for us. Today's a day of celebration, so we're keeping the Daily Dose short, and go celebrate, folks. And until next time, give them hell.